Hi guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my November wrap-up part 1. Now, it has been such a mixed bag this month. The weather's been like, we're definitely going to in like autumn into winter. The weather's crap. I've read some real books, I've read some really crappy books, and then I've read some amazing books. So like I've got 6 5-stars, but then I've got like a 2-star, a 2.5 star, and an unrated already this month. So it's been such a mixed bag. I started off the month doing amazingly, and it was like loads of 5 stars. I was like, yes, I'm gonna smash this month. And then it had a dip, and I had a slump, and then I suddenly picked up again. So yeah, it's been a really mixed bag. I'm happy. I've finished 15 books on the 15th, and I'm aiming to finish the 16th today as well. And I'll tell you which one that is in a minute. I've got a book that I got sent for a mail-out, which I've still not read, and I'm going to start that today. But because it is a mail-out book, I'm going to try and read it over a couple of days, and then I'm going to pick another book. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to pick a shorter book that I can read. Try and get that finished by tomorrow. I'm just trying to keep on top of it. Like, I've already bought probably more books than I should have done. But I've had I had my jabs last week. So last week was the week I had my COVID and flu jab, and I had a really bad reaction to it. I was off Baz Books for a day. I felt like really poorly, which is obviously fine. It's going to do me, protect me and everything else. But I also had a really bad panic attack when I was there. So thank God for my lovely sister Charlie book, because she kept me going and helped me. And yeah, it's been a really rough up and down month. But we're getting closer to December. I'm starting to buy Christmas presents next week. I will be on it, and I will get back happier. So enough rambling. Let's tell you what I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading Middlemarch by George Eliot with the lovely Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery. I'm now halfway through the book. I don't know if it's because my brain is post-Victober classicked out, even though I'm going to have classics non-stop now for over a year. Yeah, what have I done to myself? But it is good. There are people in this that I like. I think for me, Dorothea Brooke and Tertius Lydgate, they're pretty interesting. They're like the main characters, and I really like Dorothea Brooke. I think she's a really sweet character. I really enjoy her writing. But I'm a bit Victobered out at the moment, so I'm reading 50 pages today and just slogging through it. Then I've got my Tudor Along book, which is really easy to read. I'm over halfway through this month's pages, but it's just easy to read. Like it's so interesting. This is they're obviously all rereads, but they're for the Tudor Along, so I can't talk too much about them. But I will say, just to let everyone know, anyone that's doing the Tudor Along, this book is more fiction rather than non-fiction, which is what makes it slightly more exciting and slightly more interesting, because not much is known about Anna of Cleves. So she's the Queen of Secrets, so not much is known. So I think Alison Weir's gone a bit, liberal with her views on this, but I'm not really one to talk. Then a book that will finish by the time this video goes live. I'm hoping to finish this today, although look how much I've got to read today. If I do finish it, I've got to read. Yeah, if it doesn't get read, it doesn't get finished today. It can be finished tomorrow. It's not a big deal. But this is Still Life by Sarah Winman. I read like 134 pages in an afternoon yesterday, so I'm going to see how much I can get of this read today. It is really good though. It's had really mixed reviews because it was up for one of the prize awards. I can't remember which one. It was a BookTube prize, and I think it was the women's prize, but I can't remember. And it had mixed reviews. I loved Tin Man, and I liked The Years of Mysterious Ways, which is the author's other books, and they were more contemporary rather than historical fiction. But this is historical fiction, and this is first of all set in 1944, and then it goes on for a while. There is no punctuation in this, or no speech marks, which I find quite hard. It is very literary fiction, but it has got really good characters. Ulysses Temper is probably my favourite character in this, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It is a lot better than I thought it would be. So those are the books I'm currently reading. I just finished the audio book, which I've not put on here, of A Night to Remember. No, it's not A Night to Remember. It is, did I put it on here? 4 stars. No, I didn't put it on here. It's the next Anto DuBeke book, and it is really good. I think it's not A Night to Remember. What is it? I will put it in the comments below, but it's the prequel, it's the 4th in the series, and I've got the last in the series to finish today. No, I'm going to start today. And it is really, 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 really good. I'm going to tell you what that book is in the comments down below, because I've forgotten to write it down and I've not got any time to do anything today. That's my audiobook anyway, I've just listened to. I have got an unrated book, which is Alison Weir's books, The Queen of Conquest. I really do not think, if I was to rate it, it probably would have only been 2 stars. But I didn't, because it's non-fiction and it was really, really just information. It's basically telling you about 6 of the queens that started off. So it's you've got Matilda of Flanders, you've got Empress Maud, you've got like 4 or 5 other Norman queens, and I just don't find them interesting. It was really like, just, I think I skim read most of it. It was not really for me. This series is not for me. But yeah, I just now have discovered Alison Weir's non-fiction books are really not for me. So bye bye. Then a book that I wanted to like because it was given to me as a gift, and that is When You Fake It for a Living, The Truth is Hard to Find. Let's Pretend by Laura Vaughan. Again, it is an alright book. I've rated this 2 stars. I still don't know if it's 2 or 2.5 because it wasn't bad writing. It wasn't like I hated it. But yeah, it was just like about like a former child star, Lily Thane, who was a struggling 30-something actress. Her old stage school buddy, Adam Harker, is on the brink of making it big, but he needs an appropriate red carpet companion to steal the deal, and Lily fits the bill. It's got really good LGBTQI+ characters, but no, they're not really good. They are in it, but they're not good. And it seems to glamorise drugs and glamorise like people faking it, and I just didn't like it, actually. I'm going to be honest, I didn't like it. I'm sorry, I did not like it at all. That is charity shop all the way. And then a book that I read because I had to finish the series, and that is Ink Death by Cornelia Funk. And I bought this, no, I didn't full price, I bought it on one of the second-hand book sites. I paid way more than this than I should have done. I got it in hardback and I shouldn't have done it. It's the 3rd and the last and the worst in the trilogy. It might be good for young people, but it's not for me. It's very, very, very big. It's a lot of comfort in it. It's about, like, obviously all the 3 characters that were from the first book. The thing is, the first book in this series was amazing. Like, I literally loved Inkheart, and then Ink Spell was crap, and then this is just even worse. Yeah, Inkheart was the first one. I loved it. Second one got bad, and this one just got worse. And the lovely cat from Bruise and Reviews said she didn't like it, and it was a waste of time, and it probably was a waste of time. Probably should have DNF'd both those 2. I was talking to talking to our book waffle group, and they said I've just got to get better at DNFing because I didn't enjoy either of those. I should just DNF them. I'm going to remove it. Oh, there you go. You can see my. Oh, sorry. Sorry about this, guys. Anyway, so now on to my 3-star book. 3 stars was The Manning Tree Witches. It won the Desmond Elliott Prize. And it is good. It's 3, or again, the ones where they're 2 or 2.5 and 3 and 3.5. It could easily bounce between those 2-star ratings. Ink Death could probably be 2 stars. I probably should have swapped it around. But this one is good. It's probably nearer 3.5 actually. Might see if I can change it, but I can't change the ratings. It's 3.5 stars, and it's set in England in 1643. Puritanical fever has gripped the nation. In Manning Tree, depleted of men since the Civil War began, the women are left to their own devices, and Rebecca West chafes against the drudgery of her days. This is historical fiction, but I would think it's more supernatural because it does talk quite a lot about the witches and stuff. And it was good to read at that sort of time. It's very good in the historical fiction side. Bit gory, bit gruesome. Not my kind of book, and it was one I wanted to like because Katie from Books and Things liked it, and I thought, oh, I like it. Not really. So actually, probably I'm right. 3.5, 3 stars was right. That's 4 unhauled books already. I think I was going to keep all this series a Nightingale Christmas Promise series, but I'm not. And this is 3.5 stars because even though it's the penultimate book in the series, for me this is set. It should have been like the first book because this one's actually set in East End of England East London in 1914, and that's preparing for the First World War. So this one's set in the First World War, and all the other series are set in the Second World War. And I believe the last book in the series is set just after this, and that's The Wedding Bells. So this will complete this bit. So I think these 2 should have been set as a separate series because it's not really connected to the first series. Yes, it's set in the Nightingale Hospital. We've got 3 lead protagonists. We've got the women and that. We have got some people that are in the actual rest of the series, so that when they were younger, which is quite interesting. I like that bit. I liked seeing the people that I remember from the other books. That was really good. But the characters weren't as likeable in this series. We've got Anna, who had a happy upbringing in a parents' bakery in Bethnal Green. But as war descends, her family's German roots will wrench them apart. Again, you can imagine what it was like back then. Kate dreams of following her father's footsteps and becoming a doctor, but female doctors were unheard of back then, and she has a real prejudice to fight. And again, she was probably my favourite one. And then you've got Sadie, who joins the Nightingale Hospital for a new life away from her mother's interference, but the legacy of her family may not be easy to escape. Again, she was really nice, but just not quite as good as like all the other books were like 4 stars. And this was a 3.5 stars, because it was hard for me to get into and get to know the characters and really get into it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something positive today. I'm gonna get all those Nightingale books off my shelves and give them to my charity shop. Although I've just given them a big bag and now I've got to give them another bag. Chris is gonna kill me. But now to my 4 stars, and I've got 4 stars and, like I said, 6 5 stars. All of the next ones, all of those sort of ones were just meh, were okay. These ones are all incredible, and I cannot describe how close the 4 stars and the 5 stars are. They were all just what I needed in their own way. This one, I thought originally it was thriller, but Jem from Gemma Books said it wasn't, and she was right. It's not. It is a bit of a mystery element, but this one killed me. It absolutely, if you're a parent, go into this book knowing you will cry bucket loads of tears, you will cry ugly tears, it will literally rip you to shreds. Because basically, the whole point is, start off this book, these parents who have got a child that is in intensive care, brain tumour, and you know that at the very start of the book, you know that it's going to end, this kid will die. And then you get halfway through and there is a twist, because there is a question of, do you keep this child alive or do you try proton therapy, which is another therapy to try and beat the cancer? And then halfway through the book, you get the dual timelines of what would have happened. You get the ultimate realities of what would have happened if he would have lived and what would have happened if he would have died. We don't know what happened, what ultimate decision this parent, because it's between the parents. The parents have got to decide and the hospital have got to decide, and there's a battle on it, and it will break you. In every which way, it will break you. And it was a brilliant book to read, but it's one I'm saying bye-bye to, because I will never, ever be able to read that again. I don't even think I can get my mum. My mum would cry her eyes out. Very, very well written. Claire McIntosh never, ever disappoints. She is one of my favourite, like, thriller, normally a thriller author. That's my first of her contemporaries. But that writing is incredible, but it will break you. And to me, it's not a 5-star because it's not one I could reread. Ever, ever, ever. And a 5-star has to be reread, and that would kill me. That would just break me. Down to a thriller, and this is actually one of Ruth Ware's better thrillers. I have had really, really mixed feelings on her books. This was my TBR pick, and probably one of the best TBR picks I've had this year. And God, does it get you. It's spooky, scary in the fact that it really does kind of get you thinking about, like, who's around the corner, who do you trust, who do you not trust. But yeah, it's really, really good. I'm just trying to think if I can find the other. Like, I loved Turn of the Key by this author. That is my favourite book. Then we've got Woman in Cabin 10 I didn't like. You've got other books of hers I've liked, other books I haven't liked. This is good. It's very thrilling. And you do not know who the killer is in it till the end. And I could not have predicted the killer, and it kept me on my toes. It was one I didn't want to put down. I think I read it in a day. I did not want to put this book down. It was that good. But yeah, it's spooky, scary. I'm not reading that again. This one is one I'm going to let my mum read, because she will love it. It's Wishes Under the Willow Tree, a season of second chances. Mum, you're going to have this. If she don't even she'll watch this. And we've got an older protagonist. You know I love the older protagonist. And it's set in a small village of noon sun. Benedict and Estelle thought they'd found their happy ever after, but unable to have children they longed for, their marriage hits the rocks, and Estelle's moved out. And then, devastated and unwilling to admit defeat, jeweller Benedict vows to win her back, and then his niece appears. Niece that he's never met, because there's some family history there between Benedict and his brother. And what I love is there's actually loads of information about jewels, like crystals, like jewels. They are jewels, they're not crystals. I think that's jewels. But oh my God, I love this bit. Like, each chapter's also got a different stone crystal. I can't remember what they're called. You see, got like, and at the start of each chapter, you've got the what the meaning of the stone is, and it talks about the stones. And this niece picks, like when customers come into a jewellery shop, she picks out the stone for her jewellery for this person and tells this person what the stones would mean, because this child, Gemma, has looked at her grandfather's journal about stones, and I love that. This is 4/ probably 4.5 if I'm thinking about it. So like amethyst is one of my favourite stones, and it's supposed to mean inner strength, transition and sobriety. And then you've got, I'm trying to find aquamarine, because that aquamarine one is my birthstone. Not that I'm supposed to believe in any of that, but hey ho, some things are just a bit too coincidental. I'm going to find it, because this is just, oh my god, I can't. When I say I can't stop loving this book, I can't get it out of my head. And that to me probably is saying that it should be like 4.5 stars, because it was just so good. And I love the relationship between Gemma and our uncle. I love the fact that she's got a secret, so she's there under a disguise, like something's happened to bring her there. And it was just like really sad. I'm gonna keep going, but if I can't find it, then I won't. Aquamarine, that's my birthstone. It's supposed to be about openness, expression and clarity. And that really kind of, like, I like openness, you know that about me. You guys know that I am literally what it says on the tin, which is very, very true. Aha, here we go. A light blue gemstone with good source of Pakistan and Brazil. Good sources in Pakistan and Brazil. Its colour is determined by the impurities of iron, meaning the gem can range from hue in almost colourless to deep blue ocean green. Aquamarine can clear blocked communications and help you express ideas and imagination. It can give you courage to make dynamic changes. It's supposed to be a lucky stone. I don't know any of that, but it's a really, really good book. Really enjoyed that. So that Mum's going to have that, and I think I might keep that. I don't know, but Mum's going to have that anyway. Now, a book that is going to be on its way to the lovely Gemma from Gemma Books, because she will love this. And this did not disappoint. This is 4/4.5. I can't describe it again. It was spooky, scary, everything. Silent Companions I read by Laura Purcell. I've got Bone China to read on my shelves and I need to read it. This is very gothic fiction. It's like Wuthering Heights kind of gone wrong in gothic fiction side, but this is my gorgeous copy and Gem's going to love it. Going to be a perfect present for her. We've got two different characters, Dorothea and Ruth. And oh my god, it is such a good book. Dorothea is like the posh person who is coming into the prison because this girl Ruth's been accused of murder. And we've got slavery and we've got loads of really interesting stuff. It's set in Victorian times. It is really, really good, but it is very fast paced. It's not one you would not want to put down. Brilliant dark, very gothic, a bit mysterious, bit of like almost supernatural in some ways, but really, really good. I loved it. I definitely cannot read these books at night because they are so spooky, scary, gory, everything. But they are so dark, they are perfect for Gem. So you're going to love that. Now to my 5-star books, and this video is going to be way longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so because I've got 6 5-star book, she is going to, I want you to predict what book out of these 6 are going to be a favourite. I have got 2 favourites, so it kind of gives you quite an open range. One, yeah, I'm not going to tell you any more than that. All of these are books that I'm keeping. All of these are books that are never ever going to be forgotten. And all of these are amazing. They are literally, it is hard to pick a favourite because they are all so bloody different but so brilliant. First one I'm going to show you is one that obviously, this was a birthday present from Jack from Spread Book Joy. And it's the first in, I believe now it's like a series. She gave me the second one, which I'm going to read very soon. And this, oh my god, this kept me on my toes. It's middle grade, but it's middle grade horror. I thought I could read that at night. Not doing that again. Not reading that at night, no. Even though it's middle grade horror, it's still horror. Still spooky, still ghostly, still scary. But I could manage it, just. You guys know I'm a giant wimp. Evelyn Jones, and there are ghosts in it. And it's the haunting of Evelyn Jones. And she's a great character, and I think kind of reminds me of a younger me, glasses, brown hair. Loves her books, loves reading, definitely my kind of girl. She loves reading ghost stories though, so maybe not me, she's way braver than me. But I don't like ghost stories. But this is, and she's reading a ghost story and the ghost story kind of comes to life a little bit. And it's spooky, scary, everything, but I bloody loved it. Keeping it. It's really, really good. Evelyn Jones, and they've got she's got a friend that she meets and it's set in a lot in the bookshop and it's set by the coast and it's like, oh, it's scary. And very dark and very perfect for the autumn. Very, very, very good. Absolutely loved it. Dear Reader by Kathy Rensenbrink. I probably read it too fast. Gonna have to reread it. Apparently she's written another non-fiction book, and this is about her life, but her life through books. And you've got so many books in this that are recommendations. I actually bought a book because it was recommended in this book. It's mentioned in this book, so I bought it. So that's how good this is. It was one of Alice's favourite books of the year. Well, that's a sneak one year. I think it was last year. One I'm keeping. I may let Mum read it, actually. I'm going to see if Mum wants to read it, but I want it back because it's that good. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll put it to one side there so I can see if Mum wants to read it. Book about books. It tells her, it's like an autobiography, but through books. And it's just, oh my God, she's a writer. She loves books. It's amazing. You've got so many bits that are emotional. It's such a good book. It was just, flew through it. Literally loved it. Now, the last book I finished literally last night. Didn't go to sleep till a bit later because I couldn't put it down. 5 Years From Now by Page 2. This is, I think, one of our only books that doesn't have characters from other books in it. And it is done in chunks of 5 years. So every 5 years, it starts off with our lead character when she's 5, Nell when she's 5, and she meets this guy, Ban, when she's 5, who comes into her life because their parents are together. And this goes through quite a long time, and it's done in chunks of every 5 years, and how they meet up, how their lives change over 5 years. And this made me ugly cry last night as well, which sometimes some of her books do. I will say, even though every one of Page 2 books are 5 stars, to me they have got better every single book, so I cannot wait to keep reading. I'm just gutted, like next year I finish and I'm up to date with all her books, and it's like I've got her new release coming out in April, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna have to wait for it. And then I'm going to have to read it straight in May, so May it will be read. But God, it literally over 2 decades, and it brings Nell and Van together, and I cried ugly tears so many times in this book. It is definitely one of her emotional books. Be prepared. Not one of her longest, but it's one of the best. It's literally probably going to be one of her favourite books. And then to another favourite contemporary author, and this is Sleigh Rides and Silver Bells at the Christmas Fair by Heidi Swain, who is another one of my favourite contemporary authors. She does not disappoint. She does not let me down. This was absolutely bloody incredible. And this is about Anna, who takes on the role of a companion to the owner of Wimthorpe Hall. You've got great characters. You've got romance. It's set at Christmas. I've got to read her other Christmas book ASAP. But it's set before some of the other books that I've read later on in the series. And I kind of didn't read them all in order, so I'm now catching up with the order. And you go back to meet characters from this series, the Wimthorpe Hall series. Oh, I love it. Again, I cried. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Heidi Swain, well, not only is she one of the best writers, she's one of the nicest authors. She always writes lovely messages on her post. Bloody brilliant. You want contemporary authors, you try Heidi Swain. Now to the last 2 books. And this one is The Three Sisters by Heather Morris. I will buy all of her books. I cannot believe I waited this long to read it. My mum got it for me for Christmas last year. Sorry, Mum. I know it took ages to read it, but it does not disappoint. It's about 3 sisters. It will break you. It will kill you. It will make you more cry ugly tears. Again, I think I read it in a day because I couldn't put the bloody thing down. It was about 3 sisters. It's set in Auschwitz. It's set at war times. It will break you, but then you get a turn towards the end where there is some hope. And that's what you need. We all need hope in our life. The way the sisters stick together is incredible. I am one of 3 sisters, and I love my sisters more than life itself. And this will break your heart, but it will give you hope, and it is amazing. To me, it's better than Silke's Journey, and it's almost better than Tattooist of Auschwitz. And you do meet the tattooist in this book, and I will buy all her books. Like, when I need to know when she's putting another one out, because I'll buy it. Like, it just doesn't disappoint me at all. She's amazing. She's an amazing author, but be prepared to be broken because it's set in Auschwitz, and it will break you. And then last, completely on the opposite end of the scale, but again, perfect. I have really got to sort my dust jackets out because I keep ruining the top of them. And this is An Island Wedding by Jenny Colgan. It is the last in this series, the Island series, and she's confirmed this is the last in the series. I don't know if she's got any more series she's carrying on. I know she's got a new series starting next year. But this was the last in the series, and she well and truly tied up the series perfectly. I cannot tell you too much about it because it is the last. But it's mainly about Flora and Saif. They are the lead characters of this book. Lorna and Flora are the two leading characters in this book. And they're the ones that have been in all the other books. Flora especially, she's sort of one that started the series. Then you do have another couple that come in, Olivia and Anthony. And their relationship kind of intermingles with the key one of Flora and her partner, Joel. I cannot give you any more sneaky peekies, but it's brilliant. I loved it. It did not disappoint. It is amazing, and I will be rereading this series soon because I've only just read them, and I need to reread the whole series probably very soon. So this is actually a series that I'm going to keep. So 6 5 stars. Which ones do you think are my 2 favourites? Here we go. First, that one, Three Sisters by Heather Morris. I can't stop thinking about it. I really cannot get it out of my head. It's going to be one of my favourites of the year so far. It's been incredible, and it will break me, and it broke me, but it's brilliant. And then Dear Reader by Kathy Benson Brick. Again, not one I'm ever going to forget. It's one of my favourites of the year so far. So, yeah, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. So, let me know in the comments down below, what's your favourite book of the year so far? I would love to know. I would love to know what are the favourite books of the month, the month so far. I'd really like to hear. Are there any of these books that I've encouraged you to read? Let me know. And I hope you all have a good rest of the November. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, if you haven't subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. Right? I keep going between 999 and 1000. Come on, I'm going to go. Not that I'm excited or anything. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Love your comments down below. Make me all really happy. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.